Interest in martial arts has become increasingly popular over the last several years. More and more people are not only watching martial art competitions, but also participating in them as well. And with this interest, there are many people who are looking for unique and effective ways to train to become better. But in my opinion, I don't think you need these fancy ways to improve your martial arts skills. In fact, I think the simpler you keep things, the better you become at understanding and perfecting it. In today's video, I will explain to you guys the single most effective, inexpensive, truly underrated, and super beneficial way to improve your fighting capabilities. Look no other than shadow fighting. In boxing, you may hear this referred to as shadow boxing. It helps with getting you loose, comfortable, and relaxed when you first get into shadow fighting. And throughout this video, I'm gonna refer to it as shadow fighting because we're not only throwing punches, we're throwing kicks, we're mixing things up. When you first get into it, you may think, hey, I feel really silly doing this. What's the real benefit? How is this silly looking practice going to help me become a better fighter, a better martial artist? When approaching martial arts, guys, you don't just go in there and just fight or just practice. Everything has to be intentional. And what shadow fighting helps you to do is to connect your mind with your body. That's what's gonna usher in that relaxation, that comfortability. You're gonna build confidence. In the beginning, you're gonna think this is worthless. Why am I wasting my time throwing punches and kicks at the air when I can really just hit the bag or hit my opponent? But first things first, we have to identify your style. Just because you do boxing, taekwondo, karate, and you may have a specific style that you belong to, you still have to figure out your own style of play. And shadow fighting helps you with identifying your style of play. And once you start getting better familiar with your style of play, that's gonna help you become much more relaxed. You won't feel as tight when you throw your punches, when you throw in elbows, kicks. Whatever strike it may be, we wanna build fluidity. We don't wanna feel tight, because if we feel tight, we're not gonna be fully confident in our ability. So if we're relaxed, we're confident, we're comfortable, that's what shadow fighting helps you guys improve, and that's gonna help you become a better martial artist. Again, guys, we can say shadow boxing, shadow kicking, shadow fighting. Simply punching the air may sound silly, but when you practice this more and more and build comfortability, that's the more confidence you're gonna have. And it's gonna help you become inevitably more looser, which then it's gonna improve your fighting capability. Number two is that it sharpens your technique through muscle memory. We talked about earlier, when you shadow fight, you become more looser, more comfortable, and more relaxed. This in turn is gonna help them to sharpen your technique because you're improving your mind-muscle connection, and the byproduct of that is that you're improving your muscle memory. For instance, if you shadow box in the mirror, right, and you're practicing poor technique, then what's gonna happen? Your poor execution of the technique is going to reflect your daily training routine. So for instance, if you're not utilizing shadow fighting like you should, then you're not gonna be able to see those flaws, those mistakes that you're making. A coach can only do so much, but ultimately, they're not you. So practicing in front of a mirror is gonna help improve your skill set. It's gonna help you figure out, hey, I'm flaring on my elbows when I'm throwing my punches, or I have poor alignment with my feet, so my coordination is off. This allows you to critique and correct those mistakes, so then that way you get better and better and you improve your mind-muscle connection, which will inevitably improve your muscle memory. So that's why you shouldn't shadow fight with lack of intention. Make sure your body becomes more and more familiar with these movements, so then that way when you have to demonstrate this, either through some type of competition, fight, or just for the sake of yourself, your movement looks flawless. However, with that said, I want to leave you guys with one more benefit, and that's the importance of visualizing your opponent. Say for instance, you're striking the heavy bag. A lot of people lack the understanding of hitting the heavy bag. They hit the heavy bag and they don't really visualize the heavy bag hitting them back. So they just go through the motions, punching, kicking it, not visualizing their opponent striking them back. And you can do this with the heavy bag, but you can really do this when you practice in the mirror and you just simply throw your punches, your kicks, and visualize what you're gonna do to your opponent through shadow fighting. You might have 2 to 3 fighting combinations that you use. Practice those on your opponent. Visualize what your opponent is going to do. Is your opponent going to counter you? Did your opponent attempt to strike you first? And you just practicing this combination over and over again, this counter combination, and then you visualize your opponent attacking you, and boom, you unleash your counter combination. Or maybe you threw a combination at your opponent and your opponent countered you, but then you countered the counter. All of this is like chess, and you can truly understand the nuances of this through diligent practice of shadow fighting. And not only is it great to practice in the mirror your combinations against your opponent, but it's also great to see what your opponent is going to do to you. You practice so many times in the mirror, getting hit with a punch, you perfected that counter. So you get hit, but you counter right back because you understood the nuances. You drill fighting in the mirror over and over again until now you become a master of your own game. And that's building confidence, comfortability, relaxation, muscle memory, visualizing yourself, your opponent, all wrapped up in what we call shadow boxing, shadow kicking, shadow fighting. Guys, get in front of that mirror, punch, kick, throw elbows. If you're just a grappler, work on your takedown techniques. Whatever you need to do to improve your fighting capability is inexpensive, it's truly underrated, but it's super beneficial. And you can do this right in the comfort of your own home. All you need is yourself, a creative mindset, vivid picture, and simply move your body. And that's why I say shadow fighting is the best, inexpensive, truly underrated, and super beneficial way to improve your fighting capability. Let me know in the comments, guys, on how many times a week you practice your shadow fighting. Or maybe you needed this video to kickstart your understanding on the importance of shadow fighting. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, then you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next video. Practice, may the force be with you. Practice your shadow fighting. Peace and love, and I shave. Boom, we out, baby.